Hey, resilient leaders. Welcome back to the Winning Season podcast, your go to podcast for thriving in leadership, especially if you work in a male dominated industry. Today is a mini pod. It's a quick one, but it's a goodie. So, I shared a post on Threads a few weeks back and it caught a lot of attention. A couple of things surprised me about it. So let me tell you what the actual post is so you have context if you didn't see it. I shared this thread and it said Harvard Business Review found that women with a strong inner circle of female peers are more likely to land executive positions. Your network isn't just social, it's strategic. So, y'all, I firmly, wholeheartedly believe that. If you've known me since forever, you know this is something in my ethos, it's something I embody. What I didn't expect was the messages surrounding your circle needs to be gatekeepers, or this only works for a certain group of women. And finally, women need to be authentic. That part I wasn't prepared for. The part I was prepared for was the overwhelming majority, I say nearly 600 people saying, yes, I absolutely agree. That's what I expected. So I also got quite a few DMs related to, yeah, but how do I get there? I desire that. I agree with that. How do I get there? And that's where this episode, this mini pod is coming in. How do we expand the table? The power of your strategic inner circle. So I was just at brunch on Sunday. We did yoga in the morning. We walked maybe 20, 30 minutes to a different part of the city and we had brunch. As we were sitting at this big table in a really amazing space, I just had a lot of gratitude. Like, I love sitting at tables with women who dream big, who move boldly, who pull others up as they rise. That's my crew. And just at brunch made me have a moment of gratitude to be like, yeah, this is a really good life. So I know in those spaces, that's where confidence grows. That's where opportunities multiply and success is inevitable. It's impossible to not be successful when you're surrounded by a group of dope women. So let's get into it. Who and why you should surround yourself with matters. And how do you strategically expand your table for long term success? So back to that thread that I shared last week about the Harvard Business Review article. I love the Harvard Business Review. If you don't have a subscription, I would recommend it. I think it's like $200 a year or something like that. It's always been a great resource for me. Before I subscribed to the Harvard Business Review years ago, I used to pick up copies in the airport. The topics on the cover of the magazines were always interesting, and that's really how my relationship with HBR began. So it turns out, based on this article, that women with strong female dominated inner circles are 2.5 times more likely to land executive positions than those without. Why? It's because these circles provide private critical insights on navigating unique workplace challenges. Whether a company truly is committed to the work, right? Are they offering equal advancement opportunities? These circles also tell you how do you navigate biased interview processes and also real talk about how do you plan for your family, when do you introduce that to the folks that you work with, etc. I've also found in my own circles, these are the spaces where a lot of my friends come to me for negotiating advice, and they're sharing in a more raw way than they would with someone else. And that's my jam. You know, I love talking about negotiating. On the flip side, what the article revealed is that men, the gender composition of their network doesn't impact their career advancement. And I think that's the part that tells us right there that women's strategic networking is a game changer. So let me jump into the AHA method real quick. AHA method comes from my book, Dear Resilient Leader. It's attitude, habits, and actions. I like to give a little framework so I can make this practical and you can put this strategic network building into practice for yourself. So let's start with the framework. Attitude. Approach networking with the mindset of mutual growth. The best circles are not about clout, they're about connection. Again, if you've known me since forever, you know this. It's actually the first workshop that I started teaching professionally. I'm dating myself, maybe nearly 2 decades ago. The title of the workshop I used to do all around the country is called Savvy Networking. That's actually, if you want that workshop, the first chapter of my very first book, Navigating the Career Jungle, is all about networking. And that's where I break all of those things down, including this concept right here, that networking is about mutual growth. Okay, it's about connection. Let me move on to number 2 because this is a mini pod. So, habits. Your habits matter. You have to build a practice of pouring into your circle. Small, consistent actions, they matter more than huge one off gestures. And number 3, actions. Activity brings people in, right? So share your resources and create spaces for others to rise with you. If there is a podcast that you find that's valuable, a masterclass, even if it's something as simple as you've switched your workout routine and it's helped you to be more productive, share that with your crew. That's how you expand your table with intention. So, I got a leadership lab challenge for y'all. Here are 3 simple ways to strengthen your inner circle starting today. 1, share the wealth, drop the gems. If you found an article that really resonates with you or a carousel on IG, pass it on to the group or start creating your group, share it with a friend. If you learned something new, like a negotiation strategy, don't just learn it and use it for yourself, teach it to your crew. Also, if you finished a life-changing book, it doesn't have to be career related, recommend it. The best networks, they're built on sharing, not gatekeeping. And I truly believe that when you fill your cup overflows and it comes back to you tenfold when you share that overflow. All right, here's the other thing. You got to go beyond the boardroom. So invite somebody to a wellness retreat or a workout session. Swap some personal growth tips, not just leadership strategies. It doesn't have to all be about work, work, work. Okay. And like some of the other things that my group's done, we've shared travel itineraries. So let's say I'm going to a city that someone has been to or vice versa. We're going to share the map. Like, oh, I saved these restaurants. They were really good. Or this place looked interesting. I didn't try it, but I wanted to. It's all saved on a map. Go ahead and save that, share that map with your crew. And if you don't have the crew yet, share it with one person. This is how you begin to build that inner circle. All right. I get so excited about this, y'all. When you grow together, you win together. Period. Now, sometimes people think I don't have enough money to network. So let me debunk this myth. You can show up without a price tag. Sending a voice note after when you know someone's going to have a tough day or they had a tough day or something or a big meeting, that costs nothing, right? Connecting to women who you think might need to know each other costs you nothing. Check in, not because anything big happened, just because it's Wednesday, just because those things matter. You don't have to be spending a ton of money to network, and you don't have to have it yet to build an intentional network. Your presence matters more than your presence. Get it? Like what I did there? Okay, let me wrap it up. So, research shows that 85 of jobs they come through networking. That's how people land these amazing opportunities. Your career growth isn't just about what you know, it's about who knows your value. Okay? So, what I want you to do next is take action right now. Share a resource with someone in your inner circle. Remember, it doesn't have to just be about professional development. And then 2, check in with a mentor or a peer. Just because, how are you doing? And the next thing that I want you to do, introduce 2 women who should know each other. You already have them in your mind. You probably thought of it when I said it a few seconds ago. Here's the deal. When we lift each other up, we do not just rise, we thrive. So, the last thing I want to ask you is who's at your table and how are you expanding it with intention? I want to hear from you, so y'all drop me a DM on Threads, LinkedIn. And if you're looking for a community and you want to get plugged in, reach out to me because I run the Resilient Leaders program at my company, Zero Gap. And that's a good place to plug in. A lot of the women who've gone through the program over the years, they met professionally, they become friends. So I am a resource if you want to do that. Until next time, y'all, thanks for joining me for this mini episode of Winning Season. Y'all continue to emulate excellence and eliminate excuses.